Hey guys, so happy to see you all again today with yet another video. It's about position of planets in your second house, how good it's going to influence the way you speak. So second house has got many aspects, but today's focus is going to be about how good it's going to affect the way you speak, exclusively your communication, right? Let's jump right into it. So if you have sun in the second house, it's basically going to be uh, very authoritative, right? And sun is all about leadership, very firm talks, and very conclusive, judgmental, like this is how things should be done. So look around, see if someone is like that. Maybe sun could be in the second house for that particular person, right? For Moon, it's going to be a very soft spoken, sweet talker, sometimes very exaggerated. It may look as if he's trying to make up things. And generally, Moon is more empathetic, and that's one of the reasons they try to give some direction, decoration to the words, and which will lead to something a little bit superficial sometimes, but generally very polite and nice people, right? So see if someone is like that. Thirdly, let's move on to Mars, commander in chief. So generally, these people are very fast speakers. They try to bring in a lot of energy very quick. Sometimes they come across as very rude, but could also be because they just want to make their point. They're very quick. They want to finish off things, finish off tasks, and move ahead to the next one, right? So maybe Mars in the second house for them. Then comes Mercury. Mercury is very much business-like. They are very, very careful about the choice of words. They would always like to be friendly with people, and they are considered neutral when it comes to personality types. They don't like to fight. So generally, these are the people who are generally very good businessmen, smooth talkers, come out clean in any discussions. They know how to, choice of words is excellent for them. That's why they are one of the most powerful communicators, and they stand for communication in the field of astrology, right? See if someone is like that. Then comes Jupiter, right? So Jupiter stands for virtues, dharmic things. If there is someone who uses his finger, like this, they are someone trying to preach things. They would be like so thorough in so many shastras, dharmic things, and they are someone who believe they have the final word on most of the things. That could lead to something like this is the right way of doing things. This is the righteous way of doing things. So if someone has very strong Jupiter, you can see if Jupiter is in second house, this could be one of the very positive traits, right? So please see if someone has something like this, and let me know. Then comes Venus. Oh, Venus, one of the best diplomatic speakers. If Venus is there in the second house for somebody, they would come across as very nice negotiators, like very, very diplomatic. Choice of words would be in such a way that the other person cannot counter it, so that is something which is very evident of Venus. Very smooth, glib talker, very likable conversation, similar to Mercury, but Mercury is more of business like. Venus gets into more of diplomacy, and they like to be nice and friendly, and they attract people with their choice of words, and the way they speak, and that is something which could be because of Venus in second place. Please see if Venus is there in second place for someone around you, right? And then comes Saturn. Saturn, absolutely, they are very, very slow talkers, but very firm talkers. So they may bring in some kind of, final verdict, like someone like judge, trying to set right things, pass on some delicate, verdict to somebody. So someone has second house Saturn, they tend to, be like, in those kind of positions, like speaking hard things, tough things. It comes naturally to them. It's also like people, they don't like to they are not somebody who are like having a lot of friends because of the way they speak, and they also kind of could be kind of a recluse, stay away from friendly conversations. They don't like to talk much, they talk very less, and could be possible because Saturn is in second house. Why not? Please check if someone around you is something like this. And then comes Rahu. So Rahu has a very different trait. Wherever they sit, they absorb the house energy. Suppose they are someone like a chameleon, right? They absorb the house energy. So whichever house they sit, whether they sit in the house of Mercury, they try to adopt the features of Mercury and try to replicate that in the house, depending on how friendly or how malefic they are, to that particular sign. So generally, Rahu does very well if they are sitting in the house of Mercury, right? Or in the house of Venus, and also to some extent in the house of Saturn, right? They do very well in the house of Mercury and Venus, a little bit to some extent in the house of Saturn. They don't do that great in the house of Sun, Mars, okay, and also in the house of to Moon. To some extent, yes, Moon also is kind of. I've seen, in some places they do very well in Moon as well, but rest of the houses, this is how they perform, right? So generally, you observe them. If Rahu is in the second house, you'll observe them early. They'll have a lot of issues in the early stages. In the younger ages, they may not, speak. You would have a tendency that they started speaking very late and at a younger age. Speaking doesn't come quickly enough for them, so that could be one of the reasons, like they are little slow talkers, but of course over a period of time they come out of that, and they absorb the energy of the house and they do very well. Second house, Ketu, stammering, some kind of blockages, the initial stages of their life, they would literally not able to speak, because Ketu, it denotes headlessness, so they lack the ability to speak and all those things. They struggle in the early stages, and also they generally they exhibit a trait similar to that of Mars, I would say, kind of generally, for comparison sake, Ketu is referred to that of Mars, and Rahu is compared to that of Saturn. But of course, these two are Chaya grahas, so generally they behave based on the house they sit. So some specific houses, like Ketu does very well in the house of Jupiter. They also do reasonably well in the house of Sun, okay, and also to great extent in the house of Mars. Rest of the houses, generally they create some kind of problems, so there will be a lot of issues in the way they speak, and not a very pleasant talker, so possibly some kind of issues are noted. So I mean, this is a brief snippet about how people communicate if these planets are positioned in the second house. Do let me know if you have someone matching this scenario. Catch up soon. Thank you.